All right, we are grooving here in the Shaw TV studios. Welcome to the show on Shaw TV, episode number 74. My name is Matt Carter, and welcome to this jam-packed show. Our musical guest behind me right now is Mr. Connor Stewart, who's an amazing jazz musician from right here in Nanaimo that actually just started playing a couple of years ago. And he's already played all across the continent, played with some of the big name in jazz, so we're going to be stoked to hear some more tunes from him and his group. Andrew Fraser on the bass and Mike Clement on the guitar. We'll also have an interview with Connor and Mr. Matthew Hoffman later on this hour. Also on today's show, we have another one of our popular cooking segments intended to stir up your kitchen abilities. And Kim's going to put on the chef's hat and learn about some healthy recipes from Jennifer Leslie and Kelly Etheridge. Not to be confused with Melissa Etheridge, who still thinks that I'm the only one. I just got almost a key there. All right, we're also going to find out about an organization called Bears Matter, which fundraises and supports bear conservation efforts, in particular black bears here on Vancouver Island. So Brian is going to do his best to grin and bear it. Sorry, a bit of a grisly bit of humor there. Oh, and the boos have started already. All right, so in a conversation with Sylvia Campbell, who's from the North Island Recovery Center. Switching over to gardening, we're going to look at rhododendrons, which is one of the most fun words you can ever say on television. And Matthew Hoffman is going to find out more about rhododendrons and Rhododendron Month with experts John Denisinger and Brian Jubenville. And I guess if they plant rhododendrons, you could call them roto-rooters. Roto-rooters. All right, we're also going to find out how you can work your mind with our in-house illusionist, Michael Berends, who has some more tricks for us as part of his Magic Moment segment. As well, Kim's going to find out more about hypnotherapy with hypnotherapist Tash Vince. We're also going to hype up Bike to Work Week, which we're really excited about. We're really excited. Yeah, so your bike might be too tired. Bike might be too tired, but you shouldn't be too tired. So get on that bike, ditch the minivan, just don't ride aggressively and crash your bike, because if you do that, you'll break a vicious cycle. Break a vicious cycle. But first, hey, I want to run over to the main set. We're going to talk about travel, but with a particular angle to it. So lean into your screen. We are watching the show right here on Shaw TV. All right, here we go, kicking it off here on the show on Shaw TV. And first off, we're going to talk about traveling and vacationing. It's something, of course, all of us really love to do. And obviously, there's challenges with it. It's transportation, security, staying in unfamiliar locations, or navigating the challenges of unfamiliar languages and customs. But of course, sometimes that's actually part of the fun. But compound that with a challenge for a traveler who might have special needs. How can you then get and arrange a successful trip or holiday? Well, we're going to get the answers to that right now from travel expert Terita Davenant. Terita, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So glad to have you here. So now let's start with your history and sort of, again, expertise sort of about travel with special needs. Now, I read on your blog, travel planning hasn't always been your career, but in 1999, you were diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and that sort of necessitated a career change. So tell us just about what it was like to receive that diagnosis and how you moved into travel planning from there.
I'm very fortunate that I traveled the world extensively prior to MS. And I saw an ad in the newspaper, and if you can believe I just answered it, replied, liked my voice, handed me a brochure that was for a Alaska cruise on Holland American, said, learn this stuff. Okay. So I learned on the job, which was the best way of becoming an expert.
Right, so you mentioned, yeah, so a lot of traveling before that, sort of worldwide?
Worldwide.
Nice. And so getting into travel, and now travel focused toward special needs. Did you do sort of a lot of traveling with MS before you got into travel planning, or did that come after the fact?
I know I did do some traveling with MS, and that's when I really learned that it's quite a bit of effort that has to go into planning a trip. It's not like just anybody who can grab a bag and off you go. Not doable when you have a special need.
Absolutely. We also talked a bit before coming on here today about some of your experiences traveling, obviously, with special needs. So I guess just for viewers, sort of share maybe a horror story and also maybe a real successful story about someone went above and beyond for service.
Okay, well, one client was telling me about their uncle that had gone away on a trip to Mexico. He was in a wheelchair and the wife was able-bodied, so they booked a lovely all-inclusive. Away they go, and they booked a room that was accessible. He could get through all of the areas of the resort. He could get through the room door. However, the bathroom door was not wide enough, so for an entire week, they actually rigged a makeshift bucket for this poor man, so he said he was done traveling. Afterwards, he refused to go because he really didn't think there was anything that would work for him, which is very sad.
Again, and then what other examples say of a thing you've either heard about or experienced yourself of a particular travel provider or transportation that really goes above and beyond to help out travelers with special needs?
I have to say, I mean, I have my favorite cruise line for accessibility right now. I would say it's Holland America. They were the first cruise line to actually develop a mechanism that would lower you in your wheelchair into the tender, which is little boats that take you from the ship to the shore. So before that, I actually would witness somebody in a wheelchair who stayed on board because they could not board the tender. So I really like Holland America. They're very, very accessible, friendly. Royal Caribbean, they all had their merits. It's just a matter of what you're looking for. Holland America is a more mature crowd, whereas Celebrity Royal Caribbean is a different crowd. So there's something for you to do on every cruise line or every form of travel. You just have to tweak the trip before you go.
That's it, right? Again, we talked sort of off camera about how it doesn't matter whether cruises, airplanes, buses, trains, anywhere in the world, anywhere is accessible with the right plan.
That's right. That's right. I have pictures of people in a wheelchair sitting in front of the pyramids, and it's a specially designed wheelchair for the sand, because a regular wheelchair you would pretty much stay still, sitting still, not moving. So it's a neat system. So it's really neat when you see something that you would never really think was attainable, like seeing the pyramids or being on the gondola ride. Myself with MS, I'd end up in the water within minutes because of balance. So gondola ride didn't seem achievable, but it is. They have really neat systems, and because of the fact that the baby boomers are going to be retiring soon, it's a conversation that's going to be forced to take place in travel.
Absolutely. All right. So, we have to wrap this up real quickly again. So now you've traveled a lot yourself. You've booked tons of vacations for those with special needs. How can folks get a hold of you to either ask questions or find out how to book a trip of their own?
Best way, because they need to speak to me, because everybody's individualized, is to give me a call or send me an email, and I would be happy to find the perfect trip, able-bodied or not able-bodied.
Perfect. Again, the phone number there, I've got it here, 250-585-5525, or Terita's Travel Connections at shaw.ca. Thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. Time now, we're going to go talk some food, so we're going to send it over to Kim on our demo cooking set, who's going to get some healthy recipes stirring up on the go.
Well, thank you, Matt. That was really good information to have. I'm really excited today. I am joined, I'm going to be able to cook, well, maybe non-cook, with Jennifer Leslie and lovely Kelly Etheridge of Stir Cooking School. Welcome, Kelly and Jennifer.
Thank you.
So how did Stir Cooking School come to be?
Well, we came together simply because we were both looking for a cooking venue. We both wanted to do cooking classes and found each other through this process, and
we were fighting for the same kitchen.
Yeah. So we thought rather than fight, we
duked it out and got together.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, today we're going to bounce right into this. We're going to make some healthy treats, and while we're making that, I'll ask some other questions.
Sure.
So, what are we going to make, ladies?
We are going to make fudgy hemp balls. So these are loaded with protein, healthy fats, and they're sweet without the addition of any refined sugar. So we're going to have dates.
And so you pitted those?
I pitted them. You need to make sure you remove the dates. Even if they're pitted, you need to make sure that you check, because you don't want to damage your blade.
Right.
So we've got
you need a processor would be ideal.
You need a food processor. You don't need a monster like this. Just a little home one will be perfectly fine.
So you're a holistic nutritionist, so you're really into good, healthy food that do the best for your body, correct?
Yeah, I think it's the getting back to whole foods, including natural whole foods in your diet, learning how to cook, and not relying on processed foods.
Okay, great.
That's a great way to do it. So we've got some hemp. I added some coconut oil.
What's so great about hemp?
Hemp is complete protein, so that's a great thing. Sometimes a little rare in the plant world, but it's a complete protein. It also has a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, which are, of course, really important right now. They're anti-inflammatory, good for a lot of things, and a little harder to find in our diet. So hemp is a great source.
And it's a Canadian product, isn't it?
Manitoba.
Yeah.
Your hometown. That's great.
Yeah, and so it's a sustainable product. And great, they can do many things with hemp. It's great. So cocoa powder.
Right.
And we're going to do a little bit of salt, because it always brings out the flavor of chocolate. And then we're just going to add a splash of vanilla, which is always nice. And that is it. And now we everything goes in together, and we're going to start it.
Okay. This thing is a fantastic machine. We all want one right now.
Yes. Put it on your Christmas list.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's just going to come together. The food processor is going to break down the dates and the it's going to start to slightly melt the coconut oil, and everything will come together. And then we're just going to roll it, take it into little balls, and roll it in hemp.
Right.
And that's it. It's so simple. They can go in your fridge, they can go in your freezer. And
so these are also really good for school lunches if you're having nut problems and stuff in your school and you want a good protein for your child. Absolutely. This is a great option for on the go.
Completely nut-free, no added sugar, very natural. So
it's also a great thing to make with your kids because they get such a kick out of doing it. Now they tend to make their hemp balls a bit large, so you have to watch the size.
Yeah. It's good for sports because I know your children do a lot of sports.
Yes, my athletes get hemp balls. You can even add a few more nuts and seeds to them too if you're looking to cramp up the protein a bit more, but they're really handy to pack in the lunch, and keeping them in the freezer is a really good idea too, because that way they won't get warm and melt in the lunch bag. So we usually keep ours frozen.
I'm going to show you one of those. So this is a collection that you've done, and wow, that's quite something. So
it's very simple, few ingredients,
and good for you. And I know that everyone here wants to eat them.
Yes,
so
yes, I know, they're fighting over them.
We have enough to go around.
So these are good for hikes, lunches, there are sports, all sorts of great things, and they're good and tasty. So I wanted to ask a little bit more about your classes. You're doing more and more classes, so what's happening with those?
Everybody wants to cook. It's time to get back to the kitchen. I think people are frustrated with eating out and fast foods, and they're starting to get involved in the local movement more and find out where their foods come from. So Kelly and I thought we should get people in the kitchen and connect them with their food.
Absolutely.
So it's really been fun. Our classes have been packed since January when we started. So.
And I've taken the classes, hence why we're here. So now, the hemp is really good for us, and you can add anything else to this. We're good to go.
Absolutely. You could add other nuts and seeds if you wanted, or
Right. So tell me a little bit about how you are involved with food. Why is food so important to you?
Well, I've always been an athlete, and I am a kinesiology specialist with a background in dietetics. So eating properly always has been important to me as a marathon runner and all the different triathlons that I've been involved in. So now I'd like to share that knowledge with other people.
Exciting.
Been in corporate health and worked with a lot of kids in their athletic programs as well. So it's just having the right energy to get through the day.
And I agree. So we're just going to go over. I'm going to say thank you. We're going to come back in a bit, and we're going to do another great recipe for On the Go. We're going to head over to Brian and talk a little bit about bears.
Thanks, Kim. I'm with Sylvia Campbell, who is with the North Island Recovery Center. We're going to talk about bears, but more so a special program that's getting you some funding, Sylvia.
Yes, I have brought some bears. These are about the same size as what we would get in at the center, and we're looking after them. But these are called Warm Buddies, and it's a company who is actually financially helping us by the sale of these little buddies here. So you can come in out to the center and pick up one of these, or you can go to Bernard Callebaut in Country Club Mall and purchase one, and it actually helps the bears that we're rehabilitating at the Wildlife Center.
Now, these are called Warm Buddies because you can warm them up and get them warm and
they're
cozy.
Wonderful. They have little gel or beans inside of them, and you can warm them up, and the kids just would love them. They have lots of wonderful products too, spa products, and it's really a good line.
Now, these are being sold, as you said, at the Recovery Center as well as Bernard Callebaut, but the donations come to you as a bear rehabilitation program.
Yes, they've set this program up so that it helps several bear facilities in Canada and across the seas as well. So we get 100% of the proceeds if they're sold at our center. So it's, because we're not government funded, this is a really good way for us to make some extra money for sure.
People are going to ask, what kind of price range do these things do they cost? They're not really expensive, are they?
No, not as far as stuffy toys go. No, I mean they range about $28 to maybe up to about $50. And you know, Warm Buddy has been helping us for about the last 5 years. It's been a great thing for us.
Now, the bear rehabilitation program at North Island, you guys take care of black bears?
Yes, we do, mainly black bears on Vancouver Island. We have 10 bears right at the moment. They came to us last year, and we've rehabilitated them over the winter. So maybe this fall they'll be ready to go. Yeah.
Now, when people come out to the Recovery Center, they come out and look at a number of different species of wildlife. The bears, I understand, are being rehabilitated, so you're not trying to get them used to having people around.
Oh, heavens, no. No, we want to make sure that when they leave our facility and go out into the woods, that they are not, when they see a person, they're going to take off and run. So that's a theme that we have been working on for sure for the bears. But we have lots of other animals out there. We have eagles, owls, turkey vultures, falcons, hawks, all kind of things for people to come and have a look at. The bears, though, they will see on closed-circuit television. That's why we want to keep them away from people.
And in their natural activities without people around.
That's correct. We've put probably about $250,000 into this bear facility, and that's why every little bit of money we can get helps us pay for the upkeep of the animals. One bear actually costs us about $40 a day to look after. So it's an expensive endeavor for sure.
Well, that's great. People can, and you are returning these bears when they're ready back into their regular environment?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
So, just to recap, take part in the Warm Buddies program, buy some of these great little toys for your little ones or yourself, and the funding goes to the North Island Recovery Center. Thank you for coming in, Sylvia.
You're welcome. And
Let's head over to back to Kim and some food.
Awesome. Those warm buddies look fantastic. Very, very cute. So we're back with the stir cooking. Oh, we're back with the stir cooking ladies. Hello.
Hi.
What are we going to make now for On the Go?
Well, one of the major concerns that people have with healthy eating seems to be that they don't have enough time.
Right.
So Kelly and I have come up with a no-fail excuse, the mason jar salad. Okay?
Yay.
So the mason jar salad is basically anything that's in your fridge that you have leftover or that you like, or some of the ingredients from your pantry. A salad dressing, you take it to your workplace, or you pack it in your kid's lunch, or you turn it upside down, and it all mixes together, and you don't need a bowl or a plate. So what I thought I'd do today, I made the dressing already just because I knew we'd be short on time. So I'm going to get Kim to customize her own mason jar dressing.
Move it over.
And what we're going to do is we're going to get you to choose. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's perfect for me.
That's an extra dose for you. So we've started with our proteins,
yes.
and basically we're going to work from heavier to lighter.
Right.
The reason why we don't put anything soft on the bottom is it will
Crush.
get very soggy. And you can actually do this the night before, so it's ready.
Okay,
so
definitely
Kim,
quinoa.
what do you like? Quinoa is going in.
Oh, I want some black beans.
Okay, we've got black beans.
So this is really good for kids, families, yeah, again,
Well,
on the go.
What about summer picnics too?
You're
you know,
right,
you
yeah.
can just put
Wonderful,
everything
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
counter, and
All
we'll
right,
be ready
I like
to
my
go.
black beans. There you go.
What else would you like?
You name it, I'm in.
Okay.
The sweet peas are great.
Okay,
So
sweet potatoes
I
will
wanted
get
to
in
ask a
there.
little bit more about your classes. You
Okay.
guys have a curry class I know that
We do.
you've been working on. And it sold out the first class. They've done a second class. They're bringing in a third.
Both are sold
Curry
out, yep.
in a hurry. So good.
It's really fun. We're going to get into making a master curry paste so that you can have it in your freezer ready to go. And I'm going to give you some nuts because they're good for your omegas as well.
There.
And in our classes, we basically have hands-on classes, and in this one specifically, people are going to be taking home 2 dinners.
Those are awesome.
That's what they want. They want to take home dinner.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very exciting. And we also have a guest chef program.
I know, you have
which
some
I'm
amazing
really
ones.
excited about. So Don Genova, the famous Don Genova.
Famous Don Genova here on the island.
Just released his first book, and he's going to be doing a guest chef class at Rizzo Restaurant in June, and it's going to be featuring all local food.
Right. It's a
his
great one, and you're going to have local food, meet Don, and really experience a really, really good evening for good food. He's in Rome right now, so I wonder what he's going to bring back.
Yeah, he's so
that's great.
inspirational.
So some of your other classes you're doing are great for birthdays. You could do showers, you could do couples, so you do private
Oh, we
teaching.
love doing private classes because you get a group of people together, and it's so much fun to cook together.
Great.
And we've done couples, and we've got some great kids programs coming up. So we're happy to cook for anyone and with anyone.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited, and the classes are fantastic, and I always bring home something that I continue putting in my repertoire. Anyway, we're going to wrap up, and I thank you so much for the great, good food that's Stir Cooking School, and we're going to head over to some good music with Connor. I remembered his name, Matt. It's Connor.
Here's your dinner.
Yay, dinner! Thanks.
Hi, I'm here with Brian and John. May has been proclaimed as Rhododendron Month by Mayor Rutten. Can you guys tell us how that became?
Actually, we should give credit where credit's due. The North Island Rhododendron Society out of Comox began with a declaration from the city of Comox, May being Rhododendron Month. So we piggybacked on the idea and thought, well, why wouldn't we do the same thing in Nanaimo? So I wrote a letter to Mayor and Council, asked them to proclaim May as Rhododendron Month, and they did. So His Worship signed it off, well, I guess it'd be a couple months ago now, and so here we're today to bring forward the news.
That's awesome. And can you guys tell us what makes these flowers so unique opposed to other flowers?
Well, rhododendrons provide a real diversity, not only of colors, just about every color in the rainbow and all the combinations in between, but a range of size. You can get rhododendrons that after 10 years might be 6 inches high, and others that might be 7 or 8 feet high. They, like I say, every color, they can be scented. Some of them have a real perfume. I know we have one outside our front door right now. As soon as you walk outside, this perfume hits you. Yeah. They thrive in our climate. They don't have many pests or diseases. They really thrive here.
That's awesome. Yeah, Vancouver Island's a beautiful place to have them, right?
Absolutely.
I know we're pretty privileged to be living on this island and have beautiful things like renderings. I see you guys have a society. Can you tell us more about that society of the rendering and how that became?
Well, our society was formed, I think it was 1992. There's actually an umbrella organization called the American Rhododendron Society, and then it's been around longer. But we started up in '92 as the Nanaimo Rhododendron Society. And in BC, there are 7 clubs under the ARS, and 5 of them are on Vancouver Island. We meet once a month from September through May, second Thursday of every month. We have speakers, presentations on various topics, obviously garden-related and rhododendron-related. And we have a lot of other activities through the year. We have a fundraising auction, plant sales, garden tours, bus tours, lots of other things.
Yeah, that's a huge purpose, right? Are you guys do you help out the community and making sure other people are aware? Do you have anything you can speak on that?
Actually, there's a couple of things that we do through our fundraising, and we're a nonprofit society. We do provide bursaries to 2 students at the Vancouver Island University. Awesome. And we do that on a yearly basis. So this past year, there were a couple of fortunate students that got a small bursary from us. Generally talk to people about gardening. We're interested in any kind of gardening, and if it's flowers, rhodos, whatever.
We also donate to the Salvation Army and Loaves and Fishes as well through the year. So it's all about connecting to the community as well.
Yeah, it's always good to be able to help out people that need it, right?
That's right.
I know from my own volunteer experience that learning new things and being there to be a positive image in society, right? Which is huge. How do people become a part of your club and get involved with the Rhododendron Society?
You can check out our website, nanaimo.rhodos.ca, for further information, or come to one of the meetings, second Thursday of every month, or come to our sale, which is this coming Saturday.
Awesome. What should we be expecting from that sale?
Any number of rhodos, azaleas. There are some nurseries that are coming with some exotic plants that will be of great interest to a lot of people. If people want to come, get their Mother's Day gifts. Yeah. They're great plants. They're in flower. They'll be beautiful. Yeah. And if you just want some ideas on how to garden with rhodos and companion gardening, and there's people there from the Rhododendron Society who are master gardeners, and there's a lot of knowledge there. So it's just a matter of coming, talking to people, and come get your Mother's Day gifts. Awesome. That'll be 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock on Saturday.
Good. Awesome. Well, I know Mother's Day is coming up, and I do want to thank you, too, for coming onto the show, right? I learned a lot today just by talking to you. And I'll throw it to Matt for our recap of the show.
All right, thank you so much, Matthew. Appreciate that. Also, thanks to John and Brian and all of our guests so far for being on the show today. Of course, you are watching the show right here on Shaw TV, about halfway through. And so far, we've looked at travel planning for travelers with special needs. We've stirred up some incredible healthy recipes and some healthy food. We've also had a conversation about bear conservation, and including, of course, finding out more about rhododendrons and Rhododendron Month here in Nanaimo. Definitely flowers for Mother's Day, always a good idea there. Later on in the show, we're going to catch ourselves a little bit of magic. We're going to meet our musical guest, Connor Stewart. We're going to find out more about hypnotherapy. We're going to find out more about hypnotherapy. We're going to find out more about hypnotherapy. We're going to find out... Sorry about that. We're also going to find out more about Bike to Work Week right here in Nanaimo. But first, since we do have some jazz musicians on the show, I thought I'd mention a great jazz fundraising concert coming up here in Nanaimo on Friday, May the 30th. And that's called a Jazz Affair 2014 Jazz on the Coast. And that is presented by the Friends of Nanaimo Jazz Society. It's an annual concert that highlights local jazz students as well as some professionals and some guest artists. All the proceeds from the concert go towards student scholarships, awards, and performance clinics as well. And this year's headlining artist right here in Nanaimo is Grammy Award-winning bassist, composer, arranger, conductor, and educator John Clayton. He's actually played with jazz ensembles and philharmonic orchestras all over the world. Some of his highlights on his resume include arranging the Star-Spangled Banner for Whitney Houston's performance at the 1990 Super Bowl. which is a lot better than Todd Jones singing while playing Tecmo Bowl. He's also played bass with Paul McCartney, and Paul McCartney tends to get some pretty good musicians on his side, as well, of course, Nanaimo's own Diana Krall. But that's just part of a huge roster of amazing musicians he's played with. Not only will John Clayton be playing with an all-star group at this event, but you also get to hear the Nanaimo Musicians Association Big Band, local pros here, as well as a number of student groups. It's an amazing buffet dinner, silent auction, and much, much more. So if you love jazz and love supporting jazz students, check it out. It's a Jazz Affair 2014, Jazz on the Coast. That's Friday, May 30th at the appropriately named Coast Bastion Inn/Hotel. That event is starting at 6 p.m. and tickets for that are available at the Port Theatre box office. For more information on that, check out their website, friendsofnanaimojazz.com. All right, now I think it's time to switch some gears over to magic now. Time for our magic moment. So we're going to go over this way, this part of the studio, and I think our illusionist, Michael Berends, I think he's ready to go. Michael, you good to go?
Hey, Matt, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. It's time for a magical moment here on the show. We're approaching Mother's Day, so I thought I'd do a trick for my mom. You know, when I was growing up, I was 5 years old when I started doing magic. I used to walk around the house looking for stuff to do magic with, and my mom was a seamstress, so I used to walk into her little sewing room once in a while and find one of these things. This is a spool of thread, and with it, I'm going to do my mom's favorite trick. It looks just like this. It's really easy. Doesn't use much. Use a piece of thread, just like so. I would sit with her while she sewed her stuff and show her a trick just like this. Take a piece of thread, make it into a lot of small little pieces just like so. Now this isn't smoke and mirrors or big illusions or anything like that, but it's magic in its purest form. Nothing but something as simple as some thread. Take it just like so. We take it, roll it up into a little ball just like this. I remember her looking at me smiling when I do this. Roll it up into a small little ball just like so. Just for mom. Stick it to the last piece just like that. Just like so. And with a little bit of magic, we do this. Watch. That one is for you, Mom, and to all the moms out there. I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day. That's it for our magical moment, and I think we're going to be going on to our musical guest, Connor Stewart.
Hi, I'm here with Connor Stewart. He's a local jazz player who specializes in the saxophone. Can you tell us more about the saxophone that you're playing right there?
Oh, sure. This particular saxophone was assembled here on Vancouver Island. The company is a local company called Seawind, and
awesome.
It's a pleasure to play it. The company was put together by Phil Dwyer and Claudio Fontanato, and so far they've been producing a brilliant line of saxophones. It's been a pleasure to play. In fact, the engraving on them is by a local artist named Jeremy Humperville.
Oh,
and,
awesome.
As you can see here, there's an orca on the bell.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of friends that make that kind of art. But what brought you into actually playing music? What started you?
A lot of it was listening to a lot of music when I was younger, a lot of jazz music from my uncle, but also the community. I always watched the big band concerts up at VIU, and a lot of local jazz concerts when they came through town as much as possible. So 3 years ago I decided it's time I join in and have fun. So
awesome. And I was watching a video of you earlier today, and just kind of digging some research, and it looked like you were really passionate about your music. Can you tell us where you get that feeling from?
I think the music itself conjures that feeling. I mean, music is a part of everyday life. It's a soundtrack to everything we do. And I think there's a direct correlation between music and feeling, and I like to get in on that feeling.
Yeah, that's awesome. And can you tell us, is there any upcoming events, or where have you performed?
Sure, yeah. Actually, I can tell you a little bit about what I've been up to this spring. Recently, I played in the Django Fest. I sat in with 5 different bands on clarinet and saxophone playing jazz manouche, gypsy jazz, which is a lot of fun. And I played in that festival with the band Brishan, which will be playing with Pearl Django up from Seattle this summer. I toured Vancouver Island with my group, the Boss Tenors, which is a tribute to the great 2 tenor battles of the 50s and 60s. And I also was recently awarded the Fraser McPherson Jazz Scholarship. I was the only high school student awarded that, so I'm very grateful for that, as well as being nominated for the Vail Jazz Workshop, which is led by Mr. John Clayton, who is playing in Nanaimo here on the 30th. And Jeff Clayton, his brother, is a saxophonist, is one of the instructors there. So yeah, I'll be running another tour for Boss Tenors. It'll be hitting Herman's Jazz Club in Victoria and several other venues over the island in August. And recording 2 CDs this year, one with group The Rossi Gang, which is recently here this weekend. We played at the Port Theatre for a matinee and an evening show, and a radio show on Monday, which will be available on podcast on iTunes. Rhythming, CHOI 101.7. And also, I'll be recording a quartet project CD, so real busy this year, and yeah, and this, of course.
Awesome. Well, I do want to thank you for coming on the show. It's good to see everything that you're doing with your music and going forward, right? If you want to get involved with music on Shaw TV, please email Andrew Roberts at gotpop@live.com. And I do want to, we'll hear another song from Connor Stewart.
was a great song. And Connor, you have great glasses. I just had to say that. Anyway, I'm so happy to be joined by Tash Vince. She's a certified hypnotherapist. And you've been providing hypnosis-based therapy since 2007. You're also a yoga teacher. That's how I've met you. And a hypnotherapist here in Nanaimo. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. Can you tell me a little bit more what hypnotherapy is?
Hypnotherapy is a form of psychotherapy. It's a combination of relaxation and visualization, and it's supposed to help you change negative thought behaviors and patterns within the subconscious mind, changing them into positive and encouraging ones.
Gotta like that.
Yep.
And where did you train for this?
It's through Island Hypnosis, which is on the island.
Okay. So a lot of people, me included, think hypnotherapy is in bars and things, and you cluck like a chicken. We've heard that one a little bit earlier today, but it's nothing like that, right?
No, and I'm glad you asked that question. It's important to make the distinction. The hypnotherapist is not interested in making you cluck like a chicken. They take their job very seriously.
Right.
It's about healing and promoting personal growth, and we're very much invested in the client and what they would like to achieve, and that's exactly what we set out to do.
Good, I'm glad. Why is this work so important to you? Because I know when talking to you, it's really deep in you. Why is this important?
I believe in it. I believe in any healing modality, including yoga, hypnotherapy, Reiki, any kind of healing modality that's going to work for the individual. And hypnotherapy has worked for me. It's helped me overcome many obstacles. It's helped me find mental clarity and emotional balance.
That's the thing that we're all looking for. That's one of the things we'll come to. We want to talk about stress and hypnotherapy. It is beneficial, isn't it?
Absolutely. Most people actually come to see me as clients for stress, for anxiety, depression, insomnia. A lot of people can't even sleep at night because they have so much going on in their mind that they're unable to let go of.
Right. So anybody's capable of hypnotherapy. We were talking about that. I don't know if I am, but that's something you are able to work with clients on, right?
If you can lie back, close your eyes, relax, and let the hypnotherapist take you on a visual journey, then you can be hypnotized. The difference would be is if you were feeling resistance to your hypnotherapist, or if you didn't feel like you were ready for that particular change. That's where people find that they say it didn't really work for them.
So they have their own personal barriers.
Absolutely.
Right, okay. Stress is a big deal. So what are some of the techniques that we could maybe give some of our viewers today that might be something they can do a takeaway and maybe help themselves a little bit?
I would carve out 15 to 20 minutes out of your day, shut off the phone, close the curtains, relax on the couch, put on some soft music, and count yourself down from 10 down to 1, taking nice deep breaths, because deep breathing induces parasympathetic nervous system of the body, creating calm and relaxation throughout the body and the mind.
Good.
Once you're nice and relaxed, think of your goal. How would you like to achieve a particular goal? See it in your mind, think about it, focus on it, and most importantly, attach the emotion that you would like to feel while you're visualizing this goal. That's the most important part. Do you want to feel happy, motivated, confident?
Right. So you have a class coming up, a workshop on June 14th, 2 to 3 at Moksha Yoga in Rutherford, and it's going to be focused on stress relief and hypnotherapy.
We cover the basics of hypnotherapy because most people have no idea what it's about. Mm-hmm. I explain how it works. We discuss how stress sorry.
No, it's good. We're getting the wrap sign. But okay. So if people want more information, go to mokshayogananaimo.com or 250-756-4647. And Tash is amazing. I'm just telling you, there's magic there. But I thank you so much. We're going to head over to Brian. We're going to talk bikes. We're heading outside. Brian.
Thanks, Kim. I'm here outside the Shaw Studios with some members of the Greater Nanaimo Cycling Coalition and the Bike to Work Week Committee, and we're talking about Nanaimo's own Bike to Work Week, which is May 26th through June 1st. Leo Boone, you're with the Cycling Coalition. What's happening?
Well, we invite people again to come and take their bikes out the garages and go and cycle 1 or 2 or all 5 days of May 26th to June the 1st for Bike to Work Week. And also during the same time we have Bike and Walk to School Week at the same time for all of those students who like to walk or bike to school.
Good. Margot, you're at VIU, and you're certainly trying to get all the staff there involved. What kind of activities are going on throughout the week?
Well, throughout the week there are various celebration stations across Nanaimo, and at the university we will be hopefully having a pancake breakfast, and we will be getting people to log their mileage and seeing how far we can go as an accumulated distance. So maybe we can bike from here to Duncan with all the mileage that people are going to be logging during that week. Or maybe from Powell River to Duncan. So I'm really hoping that lots of people, of course, get involved, because the more the mileage, the better.
Leo, all the information is available on a website?
Yes, we have at biketoworkweek.ca/Nanaimo. You'll get to our community because it's a BC run organization, and we have these events happening in all of our communities during that week. We hope to be very successful this year in Nanaimo. We have great weather and we have lots of people involved, and it's especially important that we have employers and employees to come and cycle out to work, you know, and make that a weekly occurrence, not only this week. And oh, there is somebody coming from Shaw TV on her bike. There we go.
We have Anna pulling in.
Anna pulling in here. Coming in for a tune-up. She's number 2 on the list, and this is also something that we're doing during the Bike to Work week. We work, of course, with the bicycle shops, and we have other specialists like these gentlemen here that are going to help people with their bicycle if they need a little tune-up. Also at the celebration stations we have gifts to give away or information to give away about bicycling, because bicycling and walking is very important both for our youngsters and our adult population, because we want people to stay healthy and live longer.
Good. Now Anna's bike's getting up on the stand here, and you can explain a little bit about it. We have Jesse, your student, who's a tech.
Yeah, Jesse and Lauren, they both from Woodlands School. They have a Woodlands bike club, and at that bike club the students work on either their own bikes or other bikes that have been donated. It's a program that was worked on and is participated by Hub City Cycles, the Hub City Cycles Co-op, I should say, from downtown Nanaimo. They do several programs, and also the Greater Nanaimo Cycling Coalition is involved with other programs with other schools, and we hope to have more schools involved in these kind of activities.
Well, maybe I can just, as Jesse's working on some things, Lauren, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on? What's Jesse working on right now?
Jesse's using our truing stand. This is a special machine that we can mount a wheel on and make sure that there's no wobbles in the wheel. It takes a fine hand, and he's got a great eye at it. He's really good at it. You should have a closer look at what he's doing. Coming around this side.
So Anna's wheel, if it's not completely straight, will be straightened out by Jesse. Just a little fine tuning on it to make sure it's trued up and rolls good and straight, so her commute back and forth downtown from here happens safely.
One of the other things we're doing is she needs some air in her tires. So we're going to put some air in those tires. There we go. Always a good idea to check your air regularly. And on the tire itself, it has some information about how much you should inflate it to. This one says 50 to 75 psi. There's a few different measures that you can do. And it's just a matter of getting that on there, hooking that up, and then pumping it.
This is awesome.
She was only at about 30 psi and saying to get it up to 50.
It'll roll a lot easier.
I can't wait. My ride to work tomorrow is going to be smooth.
We want her to arrive. Yeah, we want her to arrive at work healthy and happy and ready to work, and not absolutely exhausted with flat tires. So, want to make sure that you have your bike's tires pumped up properly and that your gears are working properly, so that you're enjoying that ride.
Now, the whole thing about Bike to Work, it's a green initiative.
It is a green initiative. Marco also working at VIU with the sustainability. So it's important on that aspect and the health aspect, as well as making happy employees. So if you want to talk about sustainability, talk to the person from the university. Like it is it burns, as it says on the t-shirt, you burn calories, not gas, right? So it's good for the environment to know that. And we hope, you know, in the future to have initiatives where we can, even if people don't want to bike to work 5 days a week, but at least say, okay, I'll go 2 days a week, and the other days I'll go by car. So that would, you know, be good for the environment, it will be good for the ricker ticker, and it will be good for the air in Nanaimo.
And it's also good for the community because there's a real sort of brotherhood of cyclists, for lack of better. Even when I ride my bicycle just a few times a week to work, you get to start to know the people and you say hi, and even the folks you don't know, you say hi. So it builds community too, so it sustains not only the environment but the community and helps build the community, and that's really important as well.
So to get you out of those 4 wheels onto 2 wheels, certainly easier to find parking. Let's have everyone in Nanaimo in that week, May 6th to June 1st, get out and bike to work, bike to school, walk to school, certainly become healthier. One of the things we want you to do, and I'm sure your coalition does, is to continue that right through.
We'll continue that. You can go to our website, which is the dncc.org, or you can go to biketowork.ca/Nanaimo and find information how you can register. You can register as an individual and log your miles. Even if you go shopping and all, it doesn't always have to be to work, because not all of us are workers. You know, like some of us like to go to the library or anything. Go and log those miles, okay? But just go out and do some activity.
Well, that's wonderful. I think we're going to turn it back over to, oh, we have Matt here. Here he is.
I did. I just heard what was going on. I wanted to come out and check it out. I myself am getting my bike fixed up and really excited for a Bike to Work week. Not only this year, of course, but all the past year it's been happening. And so thank you everyone here for all the work you guys are doing, for inspiring people to bike, inspiring people to fix their bikes up, and all that knowledge there. It's very, on behalf of the city and the community, thank you so much for all the work that you do.
And go Shaw, go!
That's the spirit we're talking about. All right, and I got to say, just as Brian had mentioned, and Brian, thank you so much for getting this segment together. If we do have more bikes on the road and less vehicle traffic, it really is a schwinn for everybody. A schwinn for everybody. All right, these guys are beating me up. We better run back in. After all, anyone can ride a bike. It's not a specialized activity, and the temperature right now is great for riding. It's not hot nor cold. Nor cold. All right, well, it's time now to rally back into the studio. I hope you still are watching the tube, because it's time to put a brake on this, put a fork in it, switch gears, walk past that chain of fools. And you know, after this, I might have a, I'm not gonna run to the sign, I might have a beer or two. And the reason I might have a beer or two is because I can handle bars. I might have a beer or two because I can handle bars. Alrighty, anyways, I want to say thanks to all of our guests, biking or not, hosts, volunteers, and staff in front of the camera and behind the scenes. I also want to thank Milano's for feeding our hungry crew here. You can also find us on Facebook. Check it out at facebook.com/theshowonshaw. You can also find previous episodes of the show there. Oh, hey, check out our YouTube site for the Shaw TV Central Vancouver Island page. Just Google us and find us there. And hey, if you got some great story ideas or you want to be featured on the show, or if you know someone who wants to be featured, give us a shout. Talk to our executive producer, Melissa Hall. Her email address is melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. Again, it's melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. All right, to finish off the show now, time for one more song from Connor, Stewart, Mike Clement, Andrew Fraser. Some great jazz for you. Thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.